In our business, we look for clients for
Hmm.
money.
Hmm.
If I have a client who comes and says, you know what, Santosh, I'm going to give you so much money. I'm going to be 90% of your business,
Okay.
but I'm going to give you that money now.
Hmm.
Would I say no to that business because of diversification? Simple logic I would say is no.
You
I
wouldn't.
want I want that money. I want that money now. Why? Because okay, you might be 90%, but at the end of the day, what you're going to help me do is grow my country. And in the future, I might think of a diversification strategy as a means of not being reliant on one client. My feeling sometimes with India is you have an opportunity of an economy which is growing at such a rapid pace that it can be a significant part of your contributor to your economy.
Hmm.
But sometimes the resistance comes because of we believe that you should not put your eggs in all the basket. But the logic is clear, but I do feel that not grabbing it now
Hmm.
means it's equivalent to me
Hmm.
to a client offering you the money and saying, buddy, I'm going to give you a large chunk of business. And you saying, no, 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 man, I don't know whether I want to take it or not. I would wait because I don't want to be dependent on you.
Right.
You,
Right.
I get your point.
yeah,
I get your point.
it's just a conversation, but I think it's an interesting point because this kind of thinking can also cause you not to be prompt in grabbing the opportunity when it exists. If I tell a client who's giving me 90% business, buddy, I'm not 100% sure, he'll say, okay, I'll find another agency which gives me
That business.
that and shows me this enthusiasm because he'll be keen on my business. To endorse something that you said, uh, uh, this idea, the fact that East is where the wealth is.
Hmm.
So it's not only India. It is China, it is Vietnam, it is Indonesia, it is, perhaps even Australia and New Zealand. And if you look at India's approach in the last 1 year, it's been more bilateral than multilateral.
Hmm.
And I think there is a logic, some kind of a strategic logic to the bilateral agreements. We've just signed up with New Zealand. There's a lot of conversations going on with Australia. Singapore has already happened. So while RCEP, and I'm not an expert in this area, Dhananath, you are an expert, RCEP may have its own advantages. I suspect if you start looking at the fine print, India may actually have significant bilateral treaties which gives them a edge one-on-one with many of the countries which are anyway part of RCEP. They may push India to become part of RCEP. Whether it will happen or not is a matter of conjecture. But if East is where the markets are, India is going to be, because at the end of the day, the way for India to grow is by tapping into the markets which are growth markets.
Okay.
I did an analysis to figure out what are the points in Sri Lanka's history where there was a leap in per capita GDP.
Okay.
The first leap happened in 1978
Okay.
when J.R. Jayawardene opened up the markets.
Mm.
And I think per capita GDPs went up by 40-50%
Right.
because there was a lot of investment which came in from foreign countries. And
Mm.
that, unfortunately, that got stymied
Mm.
by the war setting in. Because
Right.
literally in 5 years, a war broke out. And some of the benefits that you got from that opening up was lost to the population.
Right.
The second big leap happened in 91 to 94
Mm.
when President 𝗪𝗶𝘂𝗹𝗱 used the MFA, which is a multi-fiber agreement,
Okay.
to build factories in the south
Yeah.
and use the quota system that was in prevalence, where Western countries allocated quotas for garment
You're referring purely to the apparel sector, right?
apparel
Yeah.
sector. That was again a significant spike
Yeah.
in per capita GDP.
Okay.
And even today, the apparel sector continues to be a significant contributor to the GDP.
Mm.
But that was a big spike. The third largest spike, which was actually the biggest spike, where your per capita GDP went up from 1,200 per capita, I think, to around 3,000, 3,500, was post-war.
Mm.
With all of the investments that came in for rebuilding of infrastructure. I mean, I do know an eminent economist who told me that, yes, there was an increase in per capita GDP, but that didn't significantly improve people's lives. Now, that's a matter of debate, but the numbers do exist. However, I am of the firm belief that if you do ITCA and if you do all of the connectivity projects with India, you can have a period of unprecedented sustained growth in Sri Lanka, which can actually change the lives of the people of the country.